revolution. We're in the middle of a revolution. An 80s revolution. What is a revolution? I don't know. But I do know this, that if anybody out there wants to take this off my shoulder, you're gonna have to take it off my shoulder yourself. And that means going one-on-one with me in the middle of the squared circle.
That's right, it's me, the trash field cat. And let me meow, you sucking suckers. I'm gonna take that 80s knowledge that so-and-so has, and I'm gonna shove it so far down his throat, he's gonna be squirting fancy feast from his tenderloins.
Many men have come, all over me, to try to take this belt. But these fists, you don't want to get fisted by these hands.
He's gonna get the claws when they come out. And when I wipe, I totally remember this. Do you across his funky nostrils, and then he will get a true whiff of what the trash field cat is shaking bacon.
See this grip? You don't want this hand to grip you. So you've been brave enough to show up. Let's take it a step further. Let's get in the ring. Tonight. In the ring.
I'ma straight mollywop you with 1980s nostalgia all over your stupid faces. And then what am I gonna do, sisters? I'ma take your body, lift it up, break it in twain, and then when you're laying on the ground, bleeding, crying for your mommies, I'ma lay a thick deuce all the way down your throat to hit your childhood hearts. That's right, the trash field cat's coming for you. 1980s style, sucker!
What's up, guys? We're back! We're back! The new 80s revolution is back right here in the Nerd Cave where you all want us to be the most.
Grandma's basement.
Grandma's basement, right here. We are back for episode 2 of season 2. And tonight, the moment that you've all been waiting for, we step back in time and bring you back to the 80s wrestling era. Woo!
As far as I'm concerned, the best era.
The only era, really, of professional wrestling. To start off our awesome episode 2, 80s professional wrestling, we dug deep into the archives and pulled 2 of the greatest promos I've ever seen. I don't know where you found them. I don't know who those cats were.
Yeah, I mean, there was a tip online. Someone was like, yo, Seavage, I got something special for you. Something that hasn't been seen in like 30 years.
From the vaults.
Oh, word? So I drive to New Jersey. I go to this dude's like,
yeah,
you know, lockers.
I remember when you said you were going.
Opens up and there's this box.
Yeah.
With these dusty old VHS. And it says the greatest promos of all time in professional wrestling.
Unseen greatest promos.
Oh yeah, I mean the tapes were in pristine condition.
Yeah. Yeah. So those two guys, I don't know. They
intrigue me though, because now I want to see some matches from those guys.
Oh yeah, the guy with the robe.
Yeah, definitely.
He seemed.
He was very preoccupied with strengthening his hand.
He was kind of homoerotic, if you will. I was feeling kind of a sensual vibe from him, and that other character. That way, he was like, ooh, he was straight from the rock and roll era of the 1980s.
That's right.
So what are we doing tonight? It is here. It is the 80s Wrestling Special, Episode 2. We are going to talk about what... Well, I don't know how we're going to do this.
He's going to talk about what 80s wrestling meant to him, while I sort of give you a nugget of my knowledge of 1980s wrestling. So that's pretty much what the show is going to be.
I told Christopher that we should probably break this into 3 two-hour segments, but he always has to get his way, so we're going to stick it to the regular schedule.
If I had my way, Jason, it'd be 5 minutes.
So we're going to talk about 80s wrestling tonight. What did it mean to us? How were we first introduced to it? Just tell some fun old stories. I know I've got a book of stories when it comes to, you know, how wrestling and I interacted with friends, with family, with holidays. Oh, just so much stuff in my head about this topic.
We're also going to take a look at your magical, beautiful, epic wrestling collection.
It's over there.
But only the 80s portion of it, the 80s, the magical time. For me, the magical time of wrestling.
That's right. We were going to, you know, there is a toy room tour coming up, so I don't want to give you too much. But
yeah, I mean, you'll see it all.
But I don't think you mind a little double dipping. I'll show you some of of my prized possessions. The things that started this whole collection off for me. The wrestling figures. We're going to talk about... we're bringing back a little segment that we like to call, like I totally remember this. Do you?
Yeah.
And you said to me, you've got an idea for this segment.
Oh yeah. I think we're going to talk a little about a short-lived toy line and memorabilia line from 1985. And I'm not going to talk about it right up top of the show.
No.
But you'll have to stay tuned.
It's later. It's an hour 4.
It's somewhere.
It's somewhere in here. Then we're going to talk about some pickups that we've acquired recently. All right, some pickups that I've acquired recently.
I picked up some boxes at the house.
Yes,
you put them in another
moved them
area.
Over to
It was good. Some good pickups this week for me.
My Ghostbusters, look at that thing. My real Ghostbusters collection is well underway. Mm-hmm. And I grabbed another little figure that I'll show you, and then I have never really talked about Blu-ray pickups on this show, but I got something the other day that we've all been waiting for. All the horror fans out there have said, when can I get my hands on these movies for less than $79.95? Well, they're out, and I'll tell you what I got. We're going to do all that and more tonight on the New 80s Revolution. It's episode 2 of season 2. We're going to talk about at the end where we're going, where we've been, where we're headed, where you guys are headed, how much money you can give us, how much stuff we can give you.
And giving beautiful shout outs to all you lovely, lovely
everybody who has contributed. We're going to talk about TeePublic. We got a whole lot of stuff to do tonight on the New 80s Revolution, episode 2, WWF Wrestling of the 80s.
Ready for some rock and roll vibes? Wacky, wild, Kool-Aid style. Kool-Aid style. Wacky, wild.
Makes me wacky.
Tastes so wild.
Kool-Aid style.
Wacky, wild, Kool-Aid style.
matter where you are, with Thumb Rustlers, it's just like being in a wrestling ring. With Hulk Hogan and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
1, 2, 3, pin!
Wherever you are, it's like real wrestling action. With Junkyard Dog and Bull Dog. Thumb Rustle anywhere with Hulk in the Iron Sheik.
Okay, kids, back to class.
Rustle anywhere with Wrestling Superstars Thumb Rustlers, new from LJN.
To defeat the evil Decepticons, Nebulons team up with Autobots to become Power Master.
Their engine's the key that unlocks their Transformer energy.
We're under attack! Oh no, the Decepticons have Power Masters too! Transform Optimus Prime!
Power Master Transformers, they've got the power to surprise.
Look, Optimus is becoming a Super Power Master! Who will win? Find out in Marvel Comics.
We're back. We're back tonight.
So much
on the
testosterone.
couch.
Sweat. I felt the sweat coming off those commercials, splashing me in the giblets. Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff, but we do it for you because we love you.
That's right.
And we believe that you love us as well. 80s wrestling. We could easily say 80s WWF, but no, because as you'll hear throughout these memories, it's not all just about Vince McMahon and the WWF and Hulk Hogan. No, indeed. In the 80s...
For me, it was.
In the 80s, there was a plethora, if you will, of wrestling that was available on this thing called cable. We'll talk all about that tonight. So, memories of wrestling. Should we start with you?
Probably.
All right.
I mean, it's going to be short.
And then you can just go, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just leave the camera on.
Yeah.
Just watch something. Maybe watch some Stranger Things upstairs.
Who?
Okay, so as we've talked about before on the show and privately, my 80s wrestling... I'm not like a huge... It was something that I just didn't glom onto like I did other pop culture growing up in the 80s. I certainly did, and it was around, and I saw it, and I had favorite wrestlers, and I had favorite moments from what I was seeing, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't something that I gravitated towards or hit me. I certainly had friends
Well,
who were wrestling fans,
yeah,
and who had pretty much what you had. So I would go over there,
yeah,
and we would play, you know, but I got bored real quick and wanted to like do something else outside or you know, like play with something else or whatever. But so my memories came from, and I'm sure it was different because I grew up in a small town, Wellsville, New York. But I did get like, you know, channels like WPIX and whatnot, and things like that. But
Channel 11.
But wrestling would come on after all the cartoons were over with.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was a kid raised by the television, whatever channel was on where the last 2 hours of cartoons were playing, I just kind of left on, and so Saturday wrestling just was on. It just came on.
Yeah. Unavoidable on Saturdays.
And so I kept it on. And I'd watch it, and I'd laugh. And then after that, again, channels were different, stations were different, but after that, Glow would come on.
Yeah.
So, or if it wasn't Glow, it was later in the 80s, it was American Gladiators.
Yes.
Going into the 90s and whatnot. But,
Yes.
So that was it. So I didn't like go out of my way to make sure I was sitting in front of the TV for wrestling. It just, when the cartoons were over, it just came on, and there it was.
Did you have a favorite?
What I loved, and I think it's probably because of the type of person I am, with the movies, and I also drew comics growing up, and I had a band and all this stuff, and I was very creative. So I was drawn towards the theatrics of wrestling. I really, you know, and sure, at that time, I wasn't thinking about, man, these guys are really great performers. You know, I was a kid, so I was just enjoying the shtick. It wasn't until, you know, growing up that I was like, wow, these guys are like really good entertainers. You know, they have to be. Yeah. So yeah, I was drawn to like the skits, the promos, and the storylines that were interweaving in between all of the wrestling. And the wrestling, well, I guess I enjoyed it to an extent because I was like always laughing at it, or certainly like with my uncles who were there, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, watch this," and then like you'd see like the fist come this close to the face, and they'd and they'd really get into it, and you're like, "Oh shit, they didn't touch at all." You know, and they did the bounding of the foot to give more or of of impact with the.
That's how most people throw punches in real fights.
You know, and I thought that stuff was funny, but it definitely was the play. You know, the theater, the school of wrestling theater that was going on, and people were eating up. Certainly, like family members and whatnot, and. I did have I tended to go towards the people who were more outlandish.
Okay.
Like the Hulkster. He was colorful, outlandish. 87, 88, 89, I guess. Ultimate Warrior, just because he was so... I mean, he was insane. Like a neon explosion of muscles and like glam band hair. Like he was just... And then, as I was saying before, you couldn't really understand a lot of what he was saying. I'm sure he had something in mind, but
debatable.
He growled. He
snorted.
He definitely yelled. He got intense, and then it was like near the end where it was always about fear and what he was gonna do with that fear to you, and that's when you could understand the warrior.
Feel the warrior.
But it was Roddy Piper, who. To me, was like, this guy was, and again, I did like Hulk a lot. I've said it before. I liked Junkyard Dog. I liked Jim Duggins. You know, I liked people like that. I definitely liked Andre the Giant, just because he was so. I guess it was more because how people reacted to the Giant, as opposed to like what he was doing. It was more like how the other performers bounced off of him.
Yes,
literally and figuratively.
Well, there was a move that he did almost every match when he was taking on a guy that he would destroy, where a standard, whip the guy into the ropes. Now a more limber wrestler would jump down on his belly. The other guy would hop over him, hit the ropes again. They'd do another move. But Andre would drop down. The wrestler would hit the ropes, and Andre would get up so slowly that the wrestler would run into his ass and bump off of him. Which nobody in the world would ever really do.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But it was definitely, Piper's Pit was always fun for me. Anytime that I saw something happening with him, that's when like my attention was really like, okay, this guy's hilarious.
Well, he was on weekly.
Yeah,
Piper's Pit was weekly.
Well, I know, but I mean when they would do the skits.
Yeah.
Like there was one that I remember, like a Christmas, like he's like an Ebenezer Scrooge or something like that, but he's in bed and he's got the nightcap on and the ghosts are coming in and he's and he's doing his shtick and everything, and I love it.
The king of shtick.
I just, for me, like, he was the best performer as far as, like, the theatrics go.
Yeah.
And, later on, I like Macho Man. I liked his, that was funny to me. His and how, like, red and sweaty and ripped he got when he was talking. You saw every vein, and yeah. And then, of course, like, just in pop culture in general, I mean, it was everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Everywhere.
Certain wrestlers' faces, and it was marketed all over the place. So it was, I mean, Cheerios commercials. I remember Hulk eating Cheerios and ripping his shirt off and talking to the bee and, hey, brother, you know, and you know, certainly with movies. I mean, you know, Rocky and
Rocky, Princess
No
Bride,
Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred. Hogan was in a handful of movies.
But and then when Cyndi Lauper was like managing and and doing all that, and everywhere she went, like there was like a cadre of wrestlers, you know, Iron Sheik and Lou Albano, who was her dad. All that fun. It was so fun. So I really loved that aspect of it. It was like the wrestling for me was just like a side thing. Like,
I get that. I mean,
you know?
you're creative. You're an artist, so you can see what they're doing.
Yeah,
you can appreciate.
And it
what
was
they're
the same with Glow. When Glow would come on, I just was like transfixed with the stupid skits that they did, and they knew they were. I mean, they were.
Oh, that was
They were hee haw type skits, you know. For you younger folks, there was a show called Hee Haw. But I mean, they were like goofy, and I liked that.
Yeah. Glow never even tried to take it.
Yeah,
seriously.
they didn't, but they had a loyal fan base, and they had a good time doing it, and that appealed to me. But man, like, I get such like I've told you before, I get very good smiley memories thinking about Piper. You know, just it was just so. There was something special about that guy.
Did his death hit you hard?
Yes, he was. You know, I did tear up. I remember. And again, this is from somebody who just loved the guy as a performer, just what he did for wrestling and performing and theatrics and things like that. It was just like man, he was one of the good ones. You know, there wasn't, from what I can tell, there wasn't a lot of like hatred for that dude, you know, within that realm.
No,
And I know he and Ric Flair had a really good relationship.
Yeah.
But he was like, he was the heel that everybody loved, and I loved that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, at one point, back in this era, you could make the case that Roddy Piper was one of the most popular wrestlers on the planet.
I mean, I think when I think of 80s wrestling, I think of Hulk, Piper, Ultimate Warrior, and Macho Man.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like that's...
Well, Roddy Piper was influential in putting, in creating or just blasting wrestling off to the moon and really making it what it is today. That happened in late 84, early 85, early to mid 85. And Roddy Piper was one of the main factors in pushing the WWF through the marketing ceiling. He was the ultimate bad guy. He was the worst bad guy in the world. Everybody hated Roddy Piper, but loved Roddy Piper. And you know, when you got the worst bad guy in the world, and he's smacking around MTV's most popular, you know, one of their most popular female singers and the VJs, and he's just, and then you got Hulk Hogan coming in to save the day. Non-wrestling fans flocked to that because, you know, something huge was happening. But we'll talk about that when we talk about that.
I feel like, yeah, and like, I mean, going into the 90s and everything else, again, I had a lot of friends, some good buddies. Even now, a good portion of the gang are all like wrestling fans. But they watch it to this day. It's, you know, they keep it. They have their people they love from the 90s. They have their people they love from the 2000s and everything. But for me, it didn't go past the fun and sheen of the 80s, you know? And I know that, like, I've seen certain things being with friends, watching certain things, watching certain matches and whatnot. I know the storylines have gotten far more elaborate and,
Yeah.
and goofier and,
no
more
question.
like, you know, fake serious and you know, things like that. But it just, you know, I think it's just because of a nostalgia thing. It's like, oh, well, these aren't my wrestlers. These aren't my, you know, and it didn't matter that some of those guys were still wrestling. It was just like, well, I loved the colors. I loved just the look of it, the sound of it, everything, you know, 80s.
Yeah.
That stuff appealed to me.
Yeah.
And when I think of WWF, not E, folks, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I've never been able to say WWE. It just feels wrong. And I know it's not their fault. I know they had to do what they had to do, but it's WWF for me. WWF 1980s. That is my wrestling history, my thoughts, what still holds true to this day for me. And a lot of it's connected to Piper. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior.
Well,
that was fun too.
Well,
Warrior running out every time he would run out,
running out completely, and that was kind of like
he was already sweated up.
Well, that's it. That was kind of the joke with him. There's a term in wrestling when a wrestler completely gasses out before the match starts, and it's usually just from, you know, a rush of adrenaline and then a crash. And Ultimate Warrior would burn himself out before the match even started, and he would just perform so poorly because he was blown up, as they say. So, well, that was great. We'll we talk about where we're headed next, or should I talk about a little bit about wrestling, or how should we do
Come on, man. No, do it. Like
I will talk in eras and years. I will talk from 84 to 89, and talk about the transition, the growth, and the introduction of it into my life, and blah blah blah. So,
be a man, Hulk. Be a man.
I've told this story many times here on this channel, but prior to wrestling, man,
you didn't exist.
I didn't exist. I watched professional bowling, The Incredible Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard. Those were kind of like my pre-wrestling interests. Cartoons, stuff like that. And then the story is, and I've told it before, we had a family relative living with us for like 6 months, and he in the house that I grew up in, he took a bedroom so we had our family room, down a few stairs we had the family room, and then off to the family room was the washroom, and then another door was a bedroom. So it was kind of like a converted bedroom, and so he would sleep down there because it was, you know, private and whatever. And I think it had its own entrance as well, so he would come in at night. So we had cable. We were, you know, this was 1984, and we had cable. We were an early family getting cable for some reason. I don't remember why, but we had it. So he ran a cable line into his room and had cable. Well, 6 months later, he moved out, and so the room was available. And I don't know why. I'm 8 years old. My two sisters are sleeping in one room upstairs. My parents are in another room upstairs. I'm in the third room upstairs. We're all together. It's safe. I don't know what I was thinking 8 years old, to remove myself from upstairs and put myself all the way downstairs in the basement for a room.
It was fate.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I said, can I have the bedroom? And I got the bedroom. But with the bedroom came the cable TV. So 1984, I'm, you know, in this bedroom, flipping through cable channels at will. You know, I don't know what my parents were thinking. I don't know if they cared at the time. I don't know if they remembered at the time that there was cable in there. But I would watch cable TV. I was introduced to a lot of neat things in 1984. One of them, I don't know why, one night, Saturday night, I was up. It was 11 o'clock. It might have been midnight. And it was, I was flipping through the dial, and I heard Michael Jackson's Thriller. And I thought, what is this? Michael Jackson Thriller? Am I going to watch the video? But that was actually the intro theme song to WWF Championship Wrestling on Saturday nights at midnight. And I just saw, you know, the opening scene, the opening credits, if you can think back, is it's in Madison Square Garden. It's Hulk Hogan walking through the back of, you know, down the aisle, as they say, of Madison Square Garden, and the Thriller song is playing, and he goes through the curtain, and then they show some highlights, and then the show starts. So you got this memorable, super popular song at the time playing. You got this Hulk Hogan thing. He's got this championship belt. What the heck is all this stuff? And that was it. That's how it all started. I became hooked right away. Then towards the end of '84, I saw a commercial. I saw a commercial for the
Ravishing Rick Rude's beautiful mustache comber. I saw that commercial too.
That was '89. I saw a commercial for WWF Wrestling Superstars from LJN. Wow. You might have even popped a little commercial in here of that, which you did in some previous episodes. But
yeah,
I saw Hulk Hogan. I saw the Iron Sheik. I saw Big John Studd. I saw Jimmy Snuka. And I saw Andre the Giant. And that was it. That was the connection. I have a toy now that I can, you know, here it is. The television show meets the toys. Being 8 years old, you don't get to go to the store and just buy your own stuff, so I was at the mercy of parents. And one night, my mom came home with 2 figures. She came home with Andre the Giant and Big John Studd. No, she didn't. Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan.
That's, yeah, like, it was definitely my family that did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even ask. I think it was like, oh, well, you know, he watches it with his uncles sitting here and whatnot. And so one day I have a Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
LJN, big friggin' thick,
Huge.
rubbery.
And up to this point, this is not what our action figures looked like. No. I mean, we're you know, around this time, we've got Star Wars figures, we've got G.I. Joe figures. Maybe, you know, He-Man was like the first, you know, super gigantic, well, not even gigantic, but
no, they were big. They
bigger
were
than G.I. Joe figures.
Yeah. But Star Wars for me, they, you know,
right.
He-Man was like, oh my god,
this figure's huge.
Yeah.
But then we get these gigantic, literally 8-inch, heavy chunks of rubber, colorful. They came with a poster. You know, you could see all the guys on the back. I mean, this was it. And I got 2. Like I said, I got Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. My mom brought them home from a store called Gold Circle. And she said, here's, you know, these wrestling fellas that you've been watching on TV. Gone from there. Literally gone from there.
Yeah. I only had like 6.
Yeah, that was
you know,
it for you, huh?
Yeah,
you know.
I only had about 6. And I told you before, they all got ruined.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you might have. They were hard to ruin. I mean, they got
no. It was animals.
Paint,
we talked about it. It was animals.
The paint would come off, but these things were lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, you could really knock somebody out with these. But it trickled into school, you know. So I went to a small Catholic school. Class size, you know, maybe like my 4th grade class was maybe like 40 kids, 50 kids, and split up in 2 classes. So you were friends with everybody, and then wrestling entered the scene, and everybody was into that, and we all just sort of bonded over that. And it was on. It was melding into all different aspects of life. It was home. It was school. It was TV. It was toys. It was everything. It hit. Then in '85. MTV got involved because, you know, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Cyndi Lauper, Captain Lou, the Goonies played a role.
So yeah, that was like
it blew up, and as soon as MTV got involved,
fun stuff.
Yeah, as soon as MTV got involved, this thing went national. This thing. So prior to '84, wrestling was territorial. It was the East. You know, had a territory. The Midwest had a territory. The South had a territory. There were territories all over the country. And they had their own little television markets. And nobody knew who the heck these guys were across the country. You know, you didn't get Minnesota wrestling when you were in New York. You know, so you weren't exposed to that. But in '85, the territories started to end, and Vince McMahon started to take over the world. And he connected with MTV. It blew up. It went national, and then it went worldwide. WWF in 1985 became worldwide. Hulk Hogan was a household name. MTV got involved. The first WrestleMania happened in 1985. Super mega event. 86 was 86 was still 85 was a huge year for WWF. To me, I feel like 86 was kind of a dull year, and then 87 took off again. But 86, you had WrestleMania 2. The figures were coming. Cereals.
I remember the thumb wrestlers. I remember 87. I remember Ultimate Warrior was like a big thing.
Well,
right?
No, 87 was the biggest match one of the biggest matches of all time. 87 was WrestleMania 3. Ultimate Warrior was at WrestleMania 3, but he was kind of a... Wait a minute. No, he wasn't. Ultimate Warrior was not at WrestleMania 3. Ultimate Warrior was at WrestleMania 4. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant happened in 1987, and it happened on Piper's Pit. Andre the Giant, forever good guy. Hulk Hogan, forever good guy. The two best friends. But what I didn't realize as a innocent 10-year-old, that Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant have fought each other many times. But we didn't know that happened. Kids didn't know that happened because we didn't have any access to the past. All we knew was right now. So Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3 in Detroit. They brought in like 97,000 people into the Detroit, not the Superdome.
No, it was the Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome is what it was.
Ah, okay. Yes.
So the Silverdome, Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. Ultimate Warrior started to become the next Hulk Hogan. You could see it happening around 88, 89.
Okay. I remember people flipping out.
Yeah.
About him. His look, everything, like... Yeah.
Yeah, he was... So yeah,
but it wasn't like a '90s thing. So yeah, I guess. You know.
No, it was. So WrestleMania 3 was Hogan Andre. WrestleMania 4, we're starting to phase Hulk Hogan out. There's a tournament. WrestleMania 4, Randy Savage becomes the world's champion. WrestleMania 5 the next year, Hogan and Randy Savage go at it because Randy Savage turned bad. Hogan got the belt back. Oh yeah. Got the belt back, the Mega Powers. And Ultimate Warrior came in shortly. WrestleMania 6 in Toronto was Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, main event. Warrior wins. The torch is passed, and Ultimate Warrior era begins. So, you know, again, it was... It's just so... there is no me without... You know, there is no any of this. This whole room wouldn't even exist if I wasn't introduced to this wrestling thing back in 1984. I mean, it was huge. It took off. For me, it became my whole childhood.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's interesting that you really, like... glommed on to that thing, and that became Jason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It literally did. I mean, that's what I was up until probably about 16 years old. 16, 17 years old was when I started to, you know, become more of a casual... I mean, I can't even say that. I can't even say I was ever casual with it. It was still a big part of my life, but the childhood from 84 to... you know, probably 90, probably about 92, it was all I thought about, all I did, all I cared about. I mean, and yeah, so that's that. When I think of the 80s, that's immediately the first thing that comes to mind. And you can see that throughout all of our shows where, like, you guys will be talking about something, and I'll just go, yeah, I remember it. For me, it was the WWF coloring book that came out, and
when we first met, it was interesting to be talking about stuff, and then slowly realize that, like, oh, wait a minute, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He literally loved wrestling, and that was about it.
Well, that's I mean, even today, as I have this massive collection, as we're doing this show, there is still stuff that I could be exposed to for the first time.
That's what's exciting for me, because I want to show him so much that I think he would just, oh my God, this is great, you know.
Well, you just said earlier, you haven't seen Footloose.
Oh yeah, he hasn't seen Footloose.
And I'm like, nah, haven't seen Footloose. So there's so much stuff out there, and I'm such a fan of this time. It's who I am, but I miss so much.
Me.
Oh yeah,
he gets to school me on this.
Oh yeah,
wrestling adventure.
Oh, we're gonna watch a ton of stuff, but there's so much stuff that I just didn't care about as a kid.
I mean,
didn't care about it. You know, I never. My collection today is really the first time I had most of these things, because I had maybe 10 G.I. Joes. I had maybe 10 He-Man figures. You know, I didn't have any room. I didn't have any interest for them. I never had a Transformer. I never had any other action figure other than my wrestling figures. So now I get to experience them for the first time.
Well, and like, you said when we first met, it's a way of, all of this stuff was around you.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, with friends and
stuff.
stuff.
That's why, like, you collect it. It's from the 80s. It's something that you remember from the 80s.
Absolutely.
That takes you back, whether you had it or not. So, I think, that's still pretty rad to to surround yourself with the culture, with the pop culture.
Well, before we shoot to another break, I wanna just drop a few deuces, drop a few names out there to get the conversation going with our loyal followers. Saturday night's main event. Let's talk about those memories in the comments. Show called Prime Time Wrestling, which was the precursor to Monday Night Raw. A wrestling themed talk show, late night talk show. Which wasn't late night, but it was a late night themed wrestling talk show called Tuesday Night Titans. You know, who remembers that? Who remembers that the first Royal Rumble was actually on television? It was on the USA Network. So, those, Saturday night's main event. I don't know if you had a lot of experience with that. I'll just drop this and then we'll stop. But
mine was cartoon. I mean, during the days, man.
Saturday night's main event. Wrestling. Oh man, wrestling. You could catch wrestling late at night, but you'd catch the usual 1 hour. Big tough guy beats little guy in 30 seconds, and that was on all over the place. But in 1985, the WWF connected with NBC, and they brought wrestling for the first time in like decades. It happened in like the 50s that wrestling was on a national network, like a prime, the big three networks, the NBC, CBS, and ABC. 85, Vince McMahon of the WWF connects with NBC, and they create this late night wrestling spectacular called Saturday Night's Main Event, which would interrupt Saturday Night Live. So once every 6 weeks, or once every, maybe longer, maybe 8-9 weeks, the WWF would preempt Saturday Night Live with Saturday Night's Main Event. And it was so memorable for a couple of reasons. One, the matches were awesome. Like, the matches were like main event matches. The other thing was that it was on at 11:30 at night. So it literally took the spot of Saturday Night Live. It was on 11:30 at night. An 8-year-old, a 9-year-old who has to survive all night, all day, all night to get to 11:30 at night to watch an hour and a half of wrestling was the most exciting.
And that's probably how I was with Saturday Night Live. I was probably like, I gotta stay up, I gotta watch it.
I'm telling you, my friend, my best pal at the time that you've heard me mention, Howie Decker, we would talk on the phone at like 8 to 8:30 to 9, and we would just pump the show up. Come on, this is going to be great. What do you think's going to happen? Who do you think's going to beat who? Oh, it's going to be good. Is he going to turn good? Is he going to turn bad? And we would just keep each other awake until 11:30, and then the show would start. And you did everything you could to make it that full 90 minutes. Because if you fell asleep and you woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning with the TV all snowy, you wanted to punch yourself in the face for missing that, because you weren't gonna go on your phone. Oh, who beat? No, you didn't know. You had no idea. It was gone. It was gone forever. Saturday Night's Main Event, if you fell asleep, was gone forever until now. But it was gone. So Saturday Night's Main Event was fun. What about you guys? Tell us some of your wrestling memories from the 80s. What did it mean to you? Did you connect with a family member over wrestling? Did you go to some live events? Who were your favorites? Let's do it. Let's get into the conversation, right?
We can talk about Roddy with me.
Talk about Roddy.
Everything else.
Talk about everything else with me. Talk about these commercials that we're going to go check out. And we'll see you guys in a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Fresh fudge.
Fruity marshmallow crispies, lots of fruity marshmallow shapes. Get you snap, crackle, popping over lots of fruit taste.
Wow!
Fruity marshmallow crispies, orange, lemon, raspberry, grape for lots of fruit taste.
Kellogg's Fruity Marshmallow Crispies, part of this complete breakfast.
Fruity marshmallow crispies.
A Fruity Marshmallow Crispies joke machine can make you a comedian.
Why does a cat wear a bell? 'Cause its horns don't work!
One free in Fruity Marshmallow Crispies.
Meet the Pretenders. We're a bunch of cats who'll do anything to get out of this pet shop, even dress up like other animals. Shh. So if you see us in your neighborhood and you find out we're not what you think we are...
You're the best bunny ever. Purr? You're not a bunny. You're a cat.
Don't tell, okay?
Don't worry. It'll be our secret.
The Pretenders from Fisher-Price. Squeeze them and they really purr.
Shh.
We are going where no man has gone before.
Child's Play becomes an out-of-this-world adventure.
Nice going, kid.
We're going straight up. Oh, my God.
When a powerful alien force draws them beyond the stars.
They're here.
River Phoenix blasts off into outer space in Explorers, a world premiere. Coming April 30th at 6 to TV 44, the movie station.
Are you ready for Hulkamania? Ancient Adonis, looking good and tough to beat. Nobody beats Macho Man.
You can get right in the action in the ring with Wrestling Superstars Figures. The big names are here and they're ready. It's corner-to-corner excitement. Match your moves against the other guy. Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures. Because you're in the ring with the WWF Wrestling Superstars Figures. Figures, ring, and cage sold separately. Assembly required. It's a grand toy.
I can beat anyone.
What'd you say, boy?
So this is it, guys. This is the figure that started it all. This and Andre the Giant were brought home to me in 1984, late 84, early 85. Can't remember exactly when, but this started it all. And I'll give you a little shot here. These were the first 5. This is all we had available to us at one point in time. And so 5 figures to anybody nowadays would be like, I'll buy those next Tuesday. We're good to go. I got the set. It took me forever to get all these guys. I didn't get all these guys until the next couple of series were out. But this started it all, man. This is the 1984 WWF LJN Hulk Hogan figure. Bubbles yelled a little bit. It happens. But this one started it all. And, of course, as you can see, it led to all of these. Now, again, we've already done this. We've done this in the in the LJN wrestling figure reviews, but you had the big guys. You got to capitalize on the popularity. You got to capitalize on the marketing. You come out with the little guys. Come out with the little bendable figures, exact same looking characters as these big guys, but now you get the little guys. You get the bendies. Like I said, got to keep capitalizing. You got to get the thumb wrestlers, right? Why not? We're buying this stuff, guys. Kids, we're going nuts for this stuff. If that's all successful, we got to go with the stretch wrestlers. So think Stretch Armstrong in wrestling form. That's right, these guys were filled with a white powdery substance, which may or may not have been lethal, but stretch wrestlers, you just stretch them literally like Stretch Armstrong in wrestling form. Not popular, have no reason to be popular, but we ate them up like candy because they were wrestling. I mean, like I said, it went so far into everything. I mean, jacket clip-ons, zipper clip-ons, right? Why? Because it's wrestling. Because it's Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Kids are, again, eating this stuff like candy. You could put these two faces on any product on the planet in 1985 and it would fly off the shelves. Proof of that? Where is it? Wrestling soap. It's soap with Hulk Hogan's face on it. Why do I have it? Because it's wrestling soap. Yeah, sure. I'll wear one today. Will you?
Now, when did these guys come out?
These guys came out in 85. And these are the only two they made. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what we would do with these back then. But you bought them. They sold. And they're great. I mean, they're actually really great detailed, cloth, great rubber belts. I mean, this is the first time that anything associated with LJN wrestling figures had cloth clothes. So this was like, these are really nicely done, but I don't know what kid is mashing around these giant figures.
Kids the size of Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Meaty paws.
Exactly. So again, it just kind of, since I've redone the room, this is the LJN figure area. I need to save space in this room. There's a lot more to go. So unfortunately, I kind of have to jam more figures in a shelf than I want to. If I had my way, I'd have unlimited space, and every one of these guys would have its own spot, right? So you would just see a row of figures, because nobody deserves to be in the back. Baby's in the corner. Nobody puts SD Jones in the corner. I don't like that, but I need space, so I have to.
Well, Virgil's
in the corner. Virgil belongs there. But I don't. This is not the way these need to be displayed, but I'm working with what I got here. So we got the ring. This was, to me, this was one of the greatest toys of all time in my life. The ring. The Bendies had their own ring. I mean, we've got around 86, 87, you no longer had to make your own cardboard belts. They came out with foam and plastic championship belts. And again, the WWF put their face on everything, and it sold. Party. This is a tablecloth, a WWF party tablecloth that you could buy at Kmart for $3.64. And what kid wouldn't want a WWF themed birthday? You slap Hulk Hogan's face on a camera, it's gonna sell, brother.
Baseball cards were popular at this era. Why not wrestling cards? Why not WWF? Ooh. Is that Trash Field Cat? No, that's Junkyard Dog. You know, who needs baseball cards? Who needs
Trashfield Cat came before Junkyard.
Yeah, Trashfield Cat was 70s. Who needs Wade Boggs and Mark McGuire when you got Chief Jay Strongbow? So yeah, I mean that's the LJN section. So I'll do this quickly. I've done it before. I'm really actually surprised that these existed, because the wrestling organization that they represented, the AWA, was not anywhere near as popular as WWF. Remco, prior to these figures, Remco made what? I mean, I know they made a ton of stuff, but I couldn't tell you what was popular from Remco prior to the AWA wrestling figures. I think they made some kind of like Universal Monsters type figures.
They did.
Yeah, like Dracula and Frankenstein.
And they had a little like
a castle. They had a castle carrying case.
Which I would love.
We will have. But prior to that, you know, Remco was this little toy company, and the AWA was this regionalized wrestling company. And these were actually before LJN. These little guys came out a few months before the LJN figures, and were not exclusive, but were mainly, they started off in Kmart. Kmart picked them up, and they were sold in Kmart. Probably to test them and see how they would sell. They did well, obviously, and so, but I love these. These are, I mean, these will never be topped, but I really love these figures because they're so obscure. The characters are completely unknown. You know, who knows who, you know, if you're only a casual wrestling fan, who the heck knows who Buddy Roberts is? Right? Buddy Roberts is not a household name. If you're not a wrestling fan, Doug Summers.
What's up, Doug?
Doug Summers.
He's got a He-Man body.
They all have He-Man bodies. You know, so guys who would probably never ever see a figure ended up getting figures of themselves because they were the wrestlers of the organization. So there's more to see. There's more to see. Don't worry. This is just a I say what's up to my man Ring Skirts for his amazing artwork, his amazing talent. He made me a authentic WWF turnbuckle. Get into it like George Steele. Or Trash Yard Cat. Or
Trash Field Cat. He's scratch it up.
He'll scratch it with his claw. Little sneak peek, guys. Little sneak peek. We can't talk about 80s wrestling without showing you my absolute childhood right here behind me. A couple of weeks, we're going to do a full toy room tour. But before then, we used to do this segment. I forget what it was called. Like I totally remember this. Do you?
Ooh, and we're back, folks. Oh, we are so back. This time, Papa Sievage is going to give you a little history lesson on a short-lived but very cool and very intergalactic and creepy toy line called the Sectaurs, which some of you may have had, but if not, here's a sensual little clip from the 1985 line, Sectaurs.
In the far reaches of the universe is the star planet Symbion, a perfect world until their biological experiments exploded, creating an exotic realm beyond all belief. As mutant life forms ravaged their global paradise, a new and incredible species emerged, the Sectaurs, with Prince Dargon leading his warriors of the Shining Realm against the evil General Spidrax. He would destroy all to rule all. His terror troops of the Dark Domain know no mercy. The brave, the bold, and the fearless stand with Dargon. The brutal and cruel attack with Spydrax. These are the Sectaurs, the warriors of Symbion.
An experiment on a distant planet fails, a civilization dies, and the Sectaurs warriors are born. Each warrior comes with his own telebonded insectoid that you control, like Bytor. Winged flies into the heat of battle. Now, Grappler, with his grappling hook, carries his warrior up the cliff for a surprise attack. But Toxid launches a counterattack. Each Sectaurs warrior comes with his own insectoid. Sectaurs by Coleco.
So I totally remember that. Do you? Sectaurs, as I said, was a very, like, I mean, it came and went. People seem to remember it being around longer than it was, but it really wasn't. It was about, the toy line lasted maybe 85, 86, and then there was a second series that was going to come out. And actually, like, I remember seeing a catalog ad about what you could see coming up for the Sectaurs line, and then it was canceled. I mean, as kids, we didn't know. So it was sort of, I feel like my brain would have been like, man, like it's the same stuff over and over again. Where's all this new stuff that I saw in the catalog? So if I'm going to Hills, I'm going to Toys R Us, whatever it was, Kmart, Ames, whatever, they got the same Sectaurs. And for the most part, I had a good chunk of them. They were really cool. And Marvel also did a 8-issue, I believe it was, a short 8-issue miniseries of Sectaurs. And the plot was sort of like, on the planet Symbion, the aliens or whatever, the people of Symbion, or people, creatures, whatever, they were doing experiments, and an experiment went wrong, as one does, and they always do. And so it created, like, it basically turned the insects and arachnids into, like, morphed up, like, mutated larger versions of themselves, but also affecting the humanoid people on Symbion, and, you know, mix the DNA or whatever of the insects and the spiders into these, you know, insect people. So there was Dargon and Spydrax, and you know, so you always had to have the good and the evil. And I just remember the toys being like really cool looking, but I also remember my grandma being like, these things are so disgusting, because they just looked so bizarre and weird. And I believe that's like one of the reasons why that line was like kaput, because I think Coleco, who put it out, I think they got like probably parents like being disgusted by the figures and just creeped out. But the dragonfly and the stuff that they would ride on, these you know, morphed up mutated creatures, the toys, their legs of the creature was a glove, and you put your hand in it, and up here was the creature with a mouth and everything. You could move, you know, the jaw was attached to your middle finger, and you could move the mouth up and down with that. And then these were the hands, but the figures, which were like 6-7-inch figures, they were big, would, you know, ride on these beasts, and you could move the wings and whatnot, and they would fly around. And their playset was one of the most desired kids playsets, for me anyway. It was called the Hive, and just like we talked about with like the Firehouse for Ghostbusters, the USS Flag, certain playsets were just like, it was unheard of, but you always had that one friend who had it. And I had a friend, his name was Nathan Howitt. He had the Hive. He had everything. He had the Voltron Palace. He had everything, man. This guy it was crazy. But so anytime you wanted to play with that stuff, you went over to Nathan's house, or Greg Martin, who had all the Transformers and the G.I. Joe stuff. But yeah, so like, and for the cartoon, it wasn't anything. It wasn't actually like a series. It was 5 episodes that was just like syndicated. And again, so you might have thought you saw like 25 episodes growing up, but no, there wasn't. It was 5 episodes, and that's it. And to this day, they're still not on DVD. It's like one of those bootleg things, or you can go on eBay and find like VHS copies of Sectaurs. But for you Sectaurs fans like me, who did have some of them and thought the line was cool, Sectaurs is coming back. NECA Toys, brothers, NECA Toys is currently doing a Kickstarter to bring back Sectaurs, and they plan on doing a Series 1, Series 2 right now. They got their Series 1 going, and you donate to get the figures. You can get 1 figure, you can get 2 figures, you can get 4 figures. And right now I know they have Dargon and Spydrax, Mantor and Zack. And again, it's tiers. Like, you want to get the 1, $20. You want to get the 2, $40. You want to get 4 of them, $80. And that is the Kickstarter. That's what you're paying for. And they're close. They want 40 grand, and they're at 36,000 right now. And I believe they got another week or so before it ends. But folks, if you want, and they're not as big now. They are, I want to say, like real Ghostbusters size figures. They're not as like the 7-inch beasts like the originals were, but they look cool. They're really detailed. They got weapons, of course, that come with them. And if it's successful, then they're going to do the beasts and the bigger figures, creatures and whatnot. And I think if you're an 80s freak and you love this line, or it was such a, or even if you're like, wow, what a cool line, and maybe you're gonna collect some of the stuff on eBay, or you're like, man, I want to give this a shot. I want to support these guys. It's such a cool, weird, obscure 80s line. So go to Kickstarter, Sectaurs, Warriors of Symbion, and I'm gonna put it up right here, so you can go check it out, donate, help bring these back, man, because it's a pretty cool line, and I'm with it, you're with it, they're with it, Sectaurs, they're with it, everybody's with it. It's gonna be great, it's gonna be fantastic. You're gonna do that, you're gonna do this, but right now, here's what I'm going to do. My situation now is I'm gonna get up off this couch, I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna take a poop.
Mad balls, gross for one, gross for all. We play with a mad ball, they're gross, funny, yucky, sick. There's 8, so you can take your pick. We throw, catch, it's uh-oh fun. There's so much gross in every one. Freaky fun is what they're for. There's so much ugly, so much more. Gross for one, gross for all. We play with a mad ball. We play with a mad ball. We play with a mad ball. Mad ball.
Freaky fun for everyone, sold separately from Amtoy.
Mad ball.
Wake up to the hot taste of Kellogg's Hot Tarts.
So hot, they're cool, so cool, they're hot. Hot Tarts popping up and popping hot. Hot taste so cool inside, they're hot. Taste the real fruit, so hot, hot, hot.
Real fruit fillings give Pop Tarts an incredible taste. So hot, they're cool.
Hot taste so cool, so cool, they're hot.
Born in fire, formed in flames, Hot Wheels breaks new barriers.
It's just an ordinary car.
Oh, yeah? There's a Hot Wheels inside.
Slip behind the wheel, sight your target through the windshield, steer, and launch. The Hot Wheels Sight and Smash Booster Set puts you in the driver's seat.
Sight and smash.
Sight and Smash Booster Set, not for use with some cars, comes with everything you see here from Hot Wheels.
We're back from those commercials and going right into this commercial. Folks, I gotta tell you about this.
This is a big event right here, ladies and gentlemen. That in that bottle is Elky Hall, and it's going in Christopher Seaver's mouth.
This, as you've heard us talk before, I am not a big fan of, I guess, alcohol in general. I don't do beer. I've never liked it. I just something I don't do, but something I do are hard ciders. Ooh. I just always have. Although I do like, again, it's flavored, but there's a raspberry beer. It's a raspberry lambic.
From?
It's called Lindemans. Framboise. You can get it. It's like it's expensive. You can get it at Wegmans. You can get it all over the place, but it's good. But this, folks, I like my apple ales, ciders, whatever, what have you. And I'm a huge fan of pumpkin, right?
I've heard.
I love me some pumpkin flavored this, pumpkin flavored that. Well, guess what? Throughout the years, crying, wandering the earth, wondering who's gonna make a pumpkin ale that I actually enjoy, because I've had many.
Tell them how you feel.
I've had many throughout the years, and I've been disgusted. Like downright, I want to go find those people who made them and poop on them.
Get them in the ring.
Yeah, brother. And then, lo and behold, this little company from upstate New York, Mac Jack, decides to go and make the frosty pumpkin. I says to myself,
Self?
do I really want to do this, Chris? Do I want to go down that avenue once again and be wiping away tears from my face and my bunghole? My cousin says,
Tears.
Chris, guess what? I think I found the one. I'm like, pfft, I don't think so. I can't trust you. You have a terrible palate. But he says, no, no, no. I'm going to bring you one. You try it. So I did. And I think my world exploded, folks. I think my brain exploded. I think everything around me exploded. My nuts, everything.
Scrotum exploded.
This is the real deal. This is the tasty, frosty pumpkin ale I have been searching for. Hard cider, folks. Hard cider. It's got that Halloween and Christmas smell because it's got that nutmeg, it's got that cinnamon. Oh, damn. It's good. So, folks, I don't know how far this goes, but, man, if you're in the Western New York, upstate New York area, you know, maybe it goes, maybe Baltimore, maybe Michigan, I don't know. Try your Mac Jack Frosty Pumpkin. It is so good, and I will be praising this until the day that I die. So thank you, Mac Jack. But now we can go into what we were really going to talk about, and that is delicious Little Debbie fruit snags. Anyway, go ahead.
I got some Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you sure did. You got a pickup, man.
I went to the store. And I bought some Heineken. Now, pickups, ladies and gentlemen. Pickups portion. It happened at RetroCon last year. When did we go?
It was last year.
October? October 2017. I needed something to push me over to jumpstart the real Ghostbusters collection for me, and I got the Firehouse. And I wanted to complete this line, well, relatively quickly, because it can be done quickly. Nothing is expensive that I'm going to buy. I'll tell you about what I'm not going to buy in a minute, but I wanted to complete this real Ghostbusters line relatively quick so that I could decide if I was going to do something else or if I was going to begin the quest, the difficult mountain to climb of what we like to call G.I. Joe. I wanted to get the Ghostbusters out of the way.
You guys call it Agaboo.
Yeah, we call it G.I. Joe. No disrespect to the real Ghostbusters. I just wanted to get it done. I love it. So since RetroCon, I have been getting figures weekly from eBay. It would be difficult for me to pull them down and show you every single figure that I've gotten in the past month. But when I first started the line, I said I am only going to collect the first 4. And I'm not going to get the silly, gimmicky Fright Features type figures. Well, that has ended quickly. So I have decided that I will get I need Winston from the first line, from the original 4. And then that's complete. And Fright Features, done. Super Fright Features, not done. And there's another, I can't remember what those ones. So you'll see the ones with like the weird spacesuits. Those are Super Fright Features. And then there's some that have backpacks. That's a line, and I think I forget what the line is called, but it might be like Action Pack or Backpack, where they all come with these massive, like flying devices connected to their backs. I have Egon, and he has like a weird helicopter that you can't put in his back because he'll fall over. I've got a few vehicles. I'm getting the monsters. All of this can be done relatively inexpensive, but there is a final series that I will not be collecting. They're neon. They glow in the dark, and on card they're about $175 each. Loose, they're about $80 each. Yeah. I'm just not gonna do that. So I can get this. I can get this out of the way quick. What have I gotten so far? What were you gonna say?
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I don't even remember that later line. You know what I mean? Like the weird, like, neon / glow in the dark / slimed line.
Oh,
like,
yeah, there is a slimed line.
It was just like
Slimed Heroes. That's okay. I can get that.
It came like, I mean, because I was such a Ghostbusters freak, so I don't know why it passed by, or maybe like we just didn't get it in our region, or I don't know. But it's like some of those later lines, I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah,
I
felt the same way going into it, but then when I realized that I can get each figure complete for definitely less than $20, I'm just gonna do it.
I wonder if with Kenner, if this was like the first toy line where they started to like really, get people's dollars by making several different iterations of the main characters.
Absolutely.
Because maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but before that, I don't remember toys doing that too much, other than maybe like He-Man, where it was just like, where they have like Dragon Blast, or whatever.
And that's a stretch, because those you could almost justify them, like Power Punch He-Man, Battle Damage He-Man. You could justify that, but what the Ghostbusters did, they went nuts.
Kenner, I remember, like, it seems like once they started doing those, like, those extra advanced characters, they were doing them for like every line after that, like the superhero stuff, like with the Batman. Batman had like 15 different, Hugh Hefner Batman with robe and pipe, that type of, like, just so many different, like, ridiculous,
all the
like,
kids' favorite.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like robotic Batman with, Kung Fu Punch. It was just, it was crazy. Yeah. And that stuff I didn't glom onto that stuff.
Yeah, Fright Features I could understand. They were cool. They, there was
the main line of Fright Features, though, but then they
but then there's Super Fright
jumped
Features.
On top of that.
Right, there's Super Fright Features, which is just them with a Fright Feature in a weird spacesuit. Slimed Heroes is just them slimed. And then, like I said, there's a later line where they have these devices attached to them, and again, Backpack Heroes or Super Pack Heroes. I can't remember what it is. I have one of them. I have Egon. And then after that, there's this weird. I don't know. I know that it's something neon. They're all white and they're all glow in the dark.
And they did those extreme Ghostbusters.
Extreme.
Remember that?
Yeah. That's not happening.
Ugh.
That's not happening. The vehicles are easy. Ecto 1, Ecto 2, Ecto 3 are all. I mean, Ecto 1 is, $75, $80 complete.
Yeah.
I already have Ecto 3. That was easy. That was like $20.
Ecto 2 is always expensive too.
Yeah.
Loose, it's not.
Yeah.
Loose, you can get it like $25, $30.
Yeah, there probably won't be any carded figures up there at all, or carded vehicles for that matter. There's a couple of weird little gimmicky items that I don't know. I'm gonna collect it. I'm gonna complete this line. So, all right. So, just one other pickup to show you. Toys R Us. One of the Toys R Us in our area is going out of business. Is closing, which is mind blowing. Lots of memories at that store. We might do something upcoming. Maybe a little walk around the store. You saw that store. We showed you that store.
I recently went in there.
Yeah, it's still at 10%, I think.
Yeah.
But we showed you that. We had a video from that store earlier on. They're closing. Maybe we'll go back there, talk to some folks. Who knows? But anyway, I stopped in there, and the NECA has released the newest Nightmare on Elm Street figure, and I love these things. So I've got it. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. And it's not easy for you to see there, but pretty soon it will be out of this cardboard coffin. This one is pretty exciting because it comes with two like Rottweilers. Remember in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 where the doggy had Freddy's face? Well, we got two of those, and that's going to be pretty awesome. So well, it didn't have Freddy's face. It had like a weird face.
It was it was like
it wasn't Freddy's face.
Like
yeah. So anyway, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 NECA figure from Toys R Us, $24.99 with 10% off.
As far as I'm concerned, the scariest looking Freddy out of all the Freddys.
Freddy 2.
Yeah, I think they really he's just, not here so much, but when you see him in the movie,
the figure's terrifying.
Man, they did a good job. They made him look more bony and his eyes were sunken in more, so when he bugged his eyes out, they really
plus this had one of my favorite all-time scenes.
All my children now.
Yes, but that wasn't it. One of my favorite all-time scenes where he said, "You've got the body and I've got the brains." He peels his head back. Love it. One real quick thing before we say some stuff and then say goodbye.
You want to do the Blu-ray there?
Yeah. Guys, for years, for 2 years, 3 years, we could not complete our Friday the 13th Blu-ray collection because the prices were silly. Well, I don't have it down here, but we have I just picked up an 8-film Friday the 13th Blu-ray collection, Friday 1 through Friday 8, which is Manhattan, in one set.
Yeah, the Paramount years.
Yes, for $300? No. $200? No. $100? No. $27.99 at Walmart. All 8 films, $27.99. So all we have to go get is Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. Freddy vs. Jason is easy. That's cheap. Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell are on a dual pack still for $74.99. So that hasn't happened yet, but we still can get those. So go check. They're not at. I looked at Best Buy. They're not at Best Buy. They are on BestBuy.com. Right? Walmart's has them. Go to your Walmart. Get your almost complete Friday the 13th for $29.
I gotta get that. I missed out because I was a stupid fan saying they're not gonna go anywhere. When I get the money, I'll get that tin, and then poof.
The tin has blown up, folks.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll come down now that the other 8 are, but who cares now? For $29.99, you can get them all. Hopefully they're going to put 9 and 10 out. I mean, that's just, come on. I mean, that's a little silly. A dual pack, $74 is insane for Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, 2 of the best films of the series. How are we gonna fit it? What are we talking about now?
Well, I mean, we gotta give some shout outs. We gotta talk about all the things that permeate the world of the New 80s revolution. And
we just did our second live show.
Yeah.
You saw a whole bunch of people sitting around.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Adult content. I did warn everybody. Yeah. I am warning you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, come on. We're adults.
It got a little risque, if you will.
Those live shows are going to get a little blue. We are, you know, we're not saints, folks.
That is a warning. They will be a little bleh. We don't always work non-bleh. But we had a lot of fun. You met some cool people who are going to be stopping by a lot. Chris Tansky, you'll see again. Carrie Elizabeth, if you will, will be here next episode talking about 80s music. Casey, your cousin.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just like what we said on the show. It's going to be kind of like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
People stop by. They ring the doorbell.
Again, you're going to see these people stopping by. And I think, as we said, these will be the reoccurring folks. We'll have other guests. We'll have you guys.
We'll have Dan
Or
Fryermuth.
we'll be going there to you as well.
We'll have Todd Fryermuth on the show.
Yeah. And but these will be like the pack, the group that kind of pop in here and there for special episodes. So
yeah. We've got a TeePublic. I don't know if these guys know. We have T-shirts.
Do you guys know?
Are you guys aware
talk about it?
that we have T-shirts that we want you to go buy?
And you know, it's actually doing really good now. Like,
it is.
You know, it was a slow go there for a little bit, but I truly appreciate you folks who are kicking it into gear and walking around now with us on your chests.
People are wearing us.
You got mugs, you got stickers. That's awesome.
Are you able to show some? Should we show some pictures of people repping our stuff?
Yeah, let's show a couple more people. We got Clarissa Bennett. She's here.
Now, how old is this little girl?
I'm not sure. I think she's a good 2. But we've got her. So thank you. She's actually, from what her stepfather and mother tell us, she's quite the 80s Revolution fan now. She's trying to get other people into it.
She wore that shirt to school.
Yes, she did. And that's so awesome.
The 80s Revolution has entered 5th grade, ladies and gentlemen.
And then we got a nice Chad Statler right here. He's right here. And he too. This ain't the first shirt he got, folks. He got a bunch more merch as well. I'm not sure quite how many, but I know he got some more. Much appreciated. So much thanks to you, Chad, who was also a patron.
Oh, a patron. We have one of those too?
And from what I know, from what I understand, we're going to be getting some more picks in from different people that I've heard recently who have gotten some stuff. But the store is doing great so far, guys. Thank you so much. And somebody who recently helped us out with some new designs.
Yeah.
Tom Strickland.
What is up?
Tom Strickland of Old School Designs on TeePublic. He too is a big 80s fan, and he watches the show. And he's going to be doing some more stuff for us.
We got more ideas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got
when
some
you
stuff that's
listen,
it's going to blow. You wait till you see.
No, I can't be blown away anymore. Go check out. You don't have to, I'm not telling you. This isn't a shill. You don't have to buy anything. Go check out the TeePublic site and look at the new designs. I had no idea these designs were coming. Christopher works in magical ways. And Christopher said to me one day...
I like to surprise you.
Christopher likes to surprise me. He said, I got some stuff coming up on TeePublic, but I'm going to wait to that. Then out of the blue, he said, go check out our store. And I logged on to our store, and I saw those awesome new designs. The I don't like little girls with 3 names, stubborn things t-shirt. The Agaboo t-shirt, the Modern t-shirt, the You Ruined Santa jerk shirt for you, T-Bob. I couldn't believe the WrestleMania style New 80s Revolution t-shirt. That's next in my cart, guaranteed.
We got a Kenner style shirt.
We got a Kenner style shirt.
We got our mutual love of Who's the Boss shirt.
Angela.
Because we always Samantha.
Next,
we always mention
our next episode, I will finally be wearing one of our shirts.
Yeah, I probably won't.
We have not got...
I'm broke, folks. I'm broke.
No.
But yeah, so tpublic.com. New 80s Revolution.
Go check it out.
Thank you so much, folks, for that.
And again, every dime that this channel receives goes back into this
right back
channel.
into
it all goes
helping
into
us make this show bigger and better.
It all
really
goes
does,
into a
folks.
PayPal account, and that PayPal account will be withdrawn in April as we head up to Steel City Con. So your guys' TeePublic is going to get us to the TeePublic and the Patreon is going to get us to Pennsylvania. It's going to get us some gas. It's going to get us some food money along the way. It's going to get us some pickups.
It really is basically going to get us to every show that we do, every guest that we try to go see and bring on, trying to up the production value of the show.
Where's our second camera?
It's a little bit of everything. Well, we didn't need it for this one. I knew we wouldn't need it for this one, but at some point there will be a second camera doing some other things, getting some different shots, different angles.
You know how to do that stuff. You used to make movies and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. And if there's fans of my movies out there who came from the movies and over to the show, check out tpublic.com/lowbudgetpictures, because we've got some Teen Ape stuff. We've got some low budget picture shirts on there as well for you guys to check out.
Those have been selling as well.
Yes, they have, and thank you, folks. That again, I'm putting that money into this as well.
February has already started off pretty hot for TeePublic.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So thank you.
TeePublic's doing well in February. Yes, much love to you all. Thank you.
And then real quick, of course, we got the Patreon, which we did get another patron recently. And his name is Jim Simon.
Jim Simon is from the most beautiful country in the world. Jim Simon lives in Ireland, from what I can tell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you do have that.
He's like, I'm from Jersey.
You do have that beautiful Gaelic accent, so I hope that I got that right.
But yes, he is he's one of the new patrons, so I believe we have 6 patrons now.
Ooh, we got 6?
I think so. 5 or 6, but that's nice. That's so awesome. It's much appreciated, and that is going 100% right back into this show, making it magical for you. I mean, imagine, wouldn't it be great if one day we could put 150% into this show, and this is what we did as for a living for you guys.
Oh my God.
That would be tops. That would be a dream. But until then, we're going to struggle through life. We're going to struggle through the facts of life. We're going to do the trials and tribulations of life just like everybody else, but we're going to be here to continue to bring you the entertainment, the nostalgia, the childhood memories of the 1980s.
Because
so
really, everybody who has 6,000 subscribers, 7,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 subscribers, they really put out fresh, original, unique content.
Well, listen, I've said this before, I pride myself in what we do here.
I don't get
Jason.
it. I don't get it. I used to watch some of these people that I no longer watch because I'm tired of seeing the same thing every single episode.
And you know what? You might see that as well with us. You might say, well, all you guys do is this. Well, but this is what we do. This is our thing. This is the New 80s Revolution. And we'll try to, again, through your help, through our creativity, we will try to give you as much entertainment value as possible. But really, it is from the heart. It's passionate, genuine, and it's coming from our connective tissue of the 1980s, our memories, everything.
My loins.
You know, yeah, that's right. The loins.
Who do we want to say hi to tonight?
Man, I mean, I guess we could do whatever, anybody. I do want to say hello to, of course, 2 Vloggers More.
Who?
2 Vloggers More.
I don't know them.
From the UK.
Where?
From the UK. I don't know my, but I know I love you. La la la.
2 Vloggers More. Of course, we love 2 Vloggers More.
Go check out their channel, guys.
Yeah, go check out
They're
2
fun.
Vloggers More.
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, you are seeing their life played out for you, and what happens is you guys, you end up befriending these people, and you just want to know more. You want to hang out with these people.
Yeah.
They're good people.
And we will hang out with two vloggers more someday.
I keep telling them, hold on. I believe we're gonna do it.
Hold on.
One day.
Chase Party?
Yeah, Chase
Always
Party,
gotta say
of
what's
course.
up to Chase Party.
Dan Fryermuth, of course.
Todd Fryermuth in the house.
B. Todd.
B. Tizzle.
Leroy Green.
What up,
85?
Leroy? Patron.
Yeah, man.
It cometh a egg. What up, it cometh a egg? We
Chad
love you.
Stotler.
Chad Stotler. Stotler man.
Who I believe is sending me a little present.
What you?
And I think I'll be able to show it off on the show next week.
You get a lot of presents. I get a lot of presents.
What can I say?
I like presents.
People like my stoink.
I don't mind presents.
I'll be getting you a present in May for your birthday.
Oh, that's right. My birthday. That's right, boys and girls. My birthday is coming up in May. May 26th.
All of our birthdays are coming up, man.
Yeah, man.
May. We got April for Tansky. May. Jason. July. Sievage. Gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be maybe we'll do like a surprise gift unwrapping here on the New 80s Revolution, like we did at Christmas time, if you remember.
I can see that.
You got like there's a lady who does.
Oh yeah. This
who
is
does some stuff.
AZ 80s girl.
AZ 80s girl
on YouTube. She is it's very similar to what we do. She is just a kick-ass rad chick. Grew up in the 80s, loves her 80s toys, and she shows off her collection. She shows off her pickups. She talks about her love and magic and majesty with the 80s and all that good stuff. And it's cool to see because it's like it's the opposite of us, but it's girl toys.
Yeah.
It's She-Ra. You know, it's Care Bears, it's My Little Pony.
Yeah, but you guys got to see that.
But it's awesome. I like it.
Gotta see that.
I responded to it. I was like, man, like just seeing her passion, seeing the things that she loved. It's just like, man, we were all.
Yeah.
It was also special for all of us.
Yeah,
boys and girls.
So we said what's up to her, and she said what's up back. So we're shouting you out, saying hello.
Yes.
Maybe someday.
Hey man,
maybe someday. You sit right here. We can talk.
We
can talk boy
right
toys.
Here.
We can talk girl toys. We'd love to hang out and get to know you and bring you on the show and do all that fun stuff. Big Beefcake Gaming, what's up?
We got that Instagram thing going on.
We got Instagram?
And let me tell you about this.
That's Snapchat?
I won't go that far. Instagram was pushing it.
Is this Tinder?
But folks, I was one of those curmudgeon-y turd blossoms who was like, man, we've got the Twitter. We've got the Facebook. We've got the YouTube channel. We've got us out there on the mean streets promoting.
Pounding the pavement.
What more? What more could we do? What more could Instagram really do for us?
Nothing.
Well, boy, was I wrong, Jason.
Really?
I was wrong. Because just within a couple of days setting up Instagram, we've already got 78 followers on Instagram.
Really?
And people who have, we're just like, what is this?
What?
So now we've got people coming over from there to the Facebook page, to our YouTube channel. They're interacting with us on the Instagram. I'm posting up pictures, special little winks and behind the scenes and things of that nature. Fans of my movies and stuff are coming on there and going, "Oh man, you're doing this? Like, I gotta check this out." I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
You owe Instagram
and I thank you guys for joining Instagram, and not only joining Instagram, but jumping on over to Twitter, because I saw a rise in our Twitter. Did I see a rise in our Facebook page? That's been awesome.
Really?
That has been like, I've been so happy. Because like we get followers. We probably get, might not be big to you guys, but to me, it's pretty big. We get about 20 followers now a week on our Facebook page.
I did not know that.
Which is pretty spectacular. And it means a lot.
Yeah, it means a lot.
There's there's more of us than there are of those guys out there. More of us 80s kids. More of us fanatics who want to relive our childhoods, and I think the Army is growing.
Well, it is growing, and the subscribers are growing, and that's been fun to see. We asked you guys to get us to 1,000 so we could start rolling in the dollars and dollars that we would get a week.
Come on, rolling in the sweet, sweet cents.
The sweet cents that we would make a week off YouTube. We wanted to get to 1,000, and we gained a large amount of subscribers in just the past couple of weeks. In fact, we gained like 4 or 5 during our live show the other night, which is amazing. But we're up to 787 as it sits right now. I'd still like to make a push for 800 by the end of the month. So
it would be awesome.
If you are coming over from Instagram, if you are coming over from Facebook, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to get us to 1,000. When you do, Christopher's going to take off his pants.
You got to watch the show, folks.
Yeah, you got to watch.
I appreciate the likes and the subscribes and all that stuff, but like
you got to see what we do, guys.
Yeah, give it a shot. You know, I think you're gonna. If you're an '80s fan, if you grew up in the '80s, if you were a child of the '80s, you're gonna find something that you like about the show. That's why we want it. I mean, you just don't come and just subscribe and be like, "There you go, guys. I hooked you up." No.
No. Don't do that.
Be a part of our community, folks.
Hang out with us.
Talk to us. Tell us your stories. Let you take us back by hearing your tales.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things I love reading.
The comments.
The comments. Because even in the comments, it's just like, man, you mentioned something that we wouldn't even mention, but now that's taken me back to, it's
and I've always told people from the beginning, I was like, don't just leave me the comment of, hey, cool video. I appreciate that, but we're doing this so that we can hear from you guys. We do this so that we can develop, communication and relationships with you guys, because we want to hear what your experience was. And they're all getting it because people are bringing comments all the time,
which is great.
I love to see this, these long paragraph comments, because that means that we made you think about your stuff.
The new '80s revolution is growing, folks. It truly is becoming a revolution.
And what is a revolution? I don't know.
But you're helping make it happen. You. Yeah, that's right, you. I see you.
You're looking at us.
I see you.
Oh, look.
Oh, my gosh.
Look away.
It's disgusting. Cover that up.
Sick. Going to Goodwill every week trying to buy video games.
You kiss your mother with that butt? Come on.
What do we got coming up? We got the 80s music show next week on this couch with Carrie Elizabeth as our special guest. She's purty. And then a couple weeks after that,
food.
Oh my God! A
food
couple weeks after that, guys, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna bring Christopher Tansky back on the scene. We are gonna eat a lot. We're gonna cook some food. We're gonna drink some pumpkin ciders. We're gonna get fatter and fatter in this episode. We're gonna have a good time talking about 80s food. We'll bring you to McDonald's. We'll eat a couple Happy Meals. We'll have a good time.
Bring that Hawaiian punch back.
Bringing it back. And then it's just on and popping from there. We are headed to Steel City Con in April, thanks to you guys. Yeah. There will be a ton of footage, ton of pickups.
Folks, we should mention this. I believe it's April 12th through the 14th, I believe, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Steel City Con.
Oh.
If you want,
come on out.
Let's do a little meet and greet.
Guys, this happened at RetroCon.
Which was fun.
We met 2 amazing fans at RetroCon. One who doesn't have a name.
Yes, but
doesn't have a YouTube.
Hopefully you're still watching.
And Ring Skirts. Just a good guy from a website called WrestlingFigs.com. And
he wants us to come out.
Yeah.
To his place. He invited us. He said he would take us around. He'd feed us, and he'd show off his amazing collection.
What are we doing here then?
Well, we got to do it. We got to get that. We got to get that skrill, man. We got to get that skrill to go up there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's go check out Ring Skirts. But yeah, if you're in that area, if you're going to Steel City Con, there's some good reasons to go. There's some cool people showing up. William Catt, the greatest American hero, is going to be there. Tiffany's going to be there. These 2 guys are going to be there. Carrie Elizabeth is going to be there. Yeah. So come hang out with us. Come say, hey, look, it's the 80s Revolution. I want to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, man. Shoot the crap with us. Take some pics. talk about what you're going to be getting at the con, show off your con swag with us.
Do you know the most flattering comment I just remembered? Our friend 90210 from the chat. He's a fellow. He's from the UK. He said we should do. I forget how he jump in. So
competition.
He said
right?
do a competition.
Do like a
but then I said, so what do you
trivia.
want? What's a gift? And he said, he said, autographed pictures of us. What? Autographed pictures of these two guys? That's amazing. Who would want that? If you want it, we'll give it to you.
I've done it. But I've signed autographs.
I've never signed an autograph.
You can sign one to me. But yes, it is amazing. It's awesome.
Pretty great.
And
we'll do that.
It's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
I believe that would be fun for a live show where we have a contest going during the live show. And then bam, we say, guess what? So-and-so is getting so-and-so.
Autographed pictures of me.
Yeah. And I'll be sending it.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be waiting a couple years. If this guy...
Yeah, can you edit that out? Get rid of that. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, guys. Episode 2, Season 2, 80s Wrestling. We showed some stuff. We talked about some stuff. We ate some snack pies. We drank some pumpkin ale. We'll be seeing you guys. Episode 3 is going to film 7 days from now. That's right. We're bringing it fast. That's another thing we want to do. We want to bring stuff to you quicker than we ever did before.
Yeah.
But right now, we're going to go now. We're going to go pee. We're going to go wrestle. We're going to go get in the ring. We're going to put on our tights.
We're going to pee and wrestle.
We're going to put each other in leg locks and suplexes.
Sleeper hold. We gotta go find. You know what? We really should. We gotta find the early matches of those wrestlers who introduced the show.
That one guy. The guy. He didn't have a name.
Oh, he had a name, and it was legendary. But see, folks, if you were to hear it, if we were to speak it, your ears would bleed.
We don't speak it.
Yeah, that's right. So
we don't speak it.
He is the unspeakable.
Trashfield Cat, though.
Trashfield Cat, man. We got to find that guy and interview him for the show.
Well, we're going to have Trashfield Cat on the show.
He's probably like...
I got a feeling he might have already been on the show. We'll see y'all next time, guys.
Bye.
We're here in the
I'm
Ready
getting out of here.
Take care.
Oh my God, I can feel hard. Rickety.
Where'd it go? I'm trying to... I gotta go. Things are happening.